Yeah, that's a quick,
Yeah, that's great. That is great. So you're working in Oracle databases or Oracle business reporting or something?
I'm working on database side.
Okay, I think this is a great course for you. So, have you ever worked on AWS or any other cloud platforms before?
No, I have not.
Okay, that is not a prerequisite. We will be covering from the very basics of AWS. So, what this course offers to you, I just want to make you clear.
Okay.
This course can help you serve two purposes. One is to get you a deep grasp of what AWS is and what AWS services are, and how can you leverage the the development using AWS services. That is one part. The other part is this course will is a short help for your AWS cloud architect exam. You don't have to have separate skills or prerequisites to crack this AWS Cloud Solutions Architect. This course in its entirety is enough for you to crack this exam.
Okay.
This is a very, very important exam, and it's highly valued in the industry right now.
So, is there different levels in getting AWS certification, of which, if there are different levels, then which level they should be placed in? The cloud architect, will it be the third level or fourth level? What would be the number, or is it a basic one? Or I'm just trying to, understand the overall picture of how many different types of certifications are there, then, and where does this cloud computing related stuff get split into?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question, Betty. And as you see, AWS has two levels. One is basic, the other one is advanced. I mean to say that basic stuff itself is an advanced one. This so the basic one is like AWS certified developer, AWS certified solutions architect, and
Okay.
AWS certified administrator. So these are the three levels,
Okay.
three levels does not which does not necessitates to have any kind of prerequisites. You can write any of these three exams: AWS certified developer, AWS certified solutions architect, and AWS certified admin.
Okay. Okay.
Out of which AWS certified developers and certified solutions architect are highly valued. And AWS certified, obviously the name itself suggests that AWS certified solutions architect is very much valued. Once you have cracked the basics, so there are deviations based on your what we call your expertise in the industry, like AWS. Let me show you like AWS networking side, AWS DevOps, AWS Big Data.
Okay.
So for this, you need to have a prerequisite. That is, you should have certification at least in one of the three things that I mentioned: AWS certified developer, or solutions architect, or yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As you can see, AWS cloud practitioners, is very, very basic. And AWS certified developer, solutions architect, and these four, you can take the exam without having any prerequisites. Once you have cracked one of these exams, you can go for DevOps or solutions architect professional or big data advanced networking specialty based on your
So
interest
how?
level and based on background.
Okay. So for the background that I have told you, which one would suit best? Because I don't think big data is again
Since
something we have to
you
start.
are Yeah, sorry. You're saying something? Since you
Yeah,
are
I am
working
trying
on
to
data,
understand, which would be the most appropriate, relevant one, which I can go with. First, you
this
said,
is the
yeah, there are
most
some.
appropriate
Okay.
because the SysOps administrator is for people who works on networking.
Okay. All right.
This exam stresses on networking stuff, and this
Okay.
exam stresses on development stuff. Actually, the syllabus for AWS Certified Developer and Solutions Architect are, more or less similar in nature.
Okay.
You have to study a few concepts in this one which you don't need to, and you have to study a few concepts in Solutions Architect which you don't need to.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
my syllabus, my course covers both the Certified Developer Associate and Certified Solutions Architect. I have students who have cracked the exam just by going through my course notes, and of course, at the end of the class, I will be offering you two mock tests, two full-length mock
Mm-hmm.
tests, so that you get
Okay.
adjusted to, like, what is the examination.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
So the
So
scoring,
the last four items that are shown here are something that we can think about next after completing one of the first four, right? It's not like we can choose right away from the last four at this point.
exactly,
It's
that's
okay.
correct.
Okay.
So what I'm going to cover in this class,
So before we move
in
on,
this
yeah,
course.
yeah. Can you quickly, uh, help me understand who the last four items are relevant for which kind of people of which background? DevOps is for
Yeah,
development people,
if
or
you're working on
is
DevOps,
it? Mhm.
if you're working on DevOps, then this is perfect. And
But
if
I
you
have
want to enhance your,
mhm.
yeah, you're saying
I have
something?
no idea on DevOps. I have no idea. What is DevOps? It is both combination of
So
operations and development, or you can quickly go over those four
exactly,
items and
DevOps
how it.
yeah, what you said is right. It's a combination of development operations. It helps the developers to push and publish their code as fast as they can, and also revision the code on the go. So for the DevOps engineers, this certification is perfect. So if you want to take your cloud levels to a notch higher, then I think Certified Solutions Architect is the best one. This is nothing but an enhancement of Certified Solutions Architect Associate. The only thing is,
Okay.
for professional, you have to dig much more deeper into the concept of cloud.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And for big data is for some, like, I think the big data course works perfect for you because it touches upon MapReduce, it touches upon big data warehouse tools. Have you ever heard of um, the big data tools like
Yeah.
Microsoft BI, Oracle BI, Informatica?
Uh, yeah, it was very short time I have worked on the business intelligence tools from Microsoft and from the other sources. And Informatica is a ETL stuff I know, which I have worked on. Um, so how does that get related with big data here?
Yeah, AWS, as you can notice here, the screen, AWS has a has its own BI tool called Redshift.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful concept, and it's very much in demand right now. Redshift. If you just know Redshift, you can become a Redshift developer. So what they
Okay.
have is they have huge clusters that's supported by huge servers, like the servers that support supercomputers. So what we do is we simply load the data inside this Redshift cluster, and we connect that Redshift cluster with a third party, SQL tools like SQL Workbench,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Okay.
And we connect the data, and using that SQL Workbench or other third party tools, we mine and query the data that sits inside this cluster. So that's why it is fully managed petabyte scale data. So if you mine the data, you'll get the result within seconds, no matter how much amount of data you're handling.
Okay.
So that is one thing. And I think they also touch upon this, what we call elastic search. This is also, huge demand right now, elastic search. Have you ever heard of this elastic search,
No.
Logstash, Kibana? This
No.
is extensively used for, mining and understanding the log data and log analysis.
Okay.
You have logs that you generate from your tools and how to analyze the data.
Okay.
This is one such service that helps you to do it.
Okay.
And Kinesis. So Kinesis is something. Have you ever heard of Apache Kafka?
No.
Apache Kafka is actually an open source tool. An open source tool which helps you to analyze the streaming data. That means the data is being generated and you will be analyzing the data while it's generated. So this is a good example.
I couldn't understand that streaming stuff. I'm not sure whether I'm getting it deviated from the main stuff that you want to explain, but still, yeah. When you say streaming, is it like playing videos, or, videos, audios, kind of stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. If you understand, like, let's say a tractor. Now the tractors are fitted with some kind of sensors. They understand the tractor's performance and how many miles the tractors have gone and what are the parts that the tractor needs to be repaired. Everything is being tracked if you have a sensor. And where do all the sensor data goes? The sensor data goes into Apache Kafka. So while the tractor is moving, the data is being generated. How much amount of oil the tractor has and how much amount of oil that it needs to be, supplied with. What is the speed of the tractor and what is the, weather and what is the temperature of the tractor. Like it might be cold, it might be hot, it might be too much hot. Everything is being tracked using the IoT sensors, Internet of Things sensor. And where do all this tracking data goes? This tracking data, this is what we call streaming data. It actually goes inside this Apache Kafka for analysis.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This is what we call stream processing, the real-time streaming data. Something like stocks, the data that is being generated through stocks. That's the streaming data. And as you said, streaming of videos and streaming of audios is also available, but they do have different tools.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And streaming of, let's say, in the social media, people what we call every second people uploads pictures, videos, and other things. All the data is taken in a JSON format. Have you ever heard of JSON?
No.
JSON means JavaScript Object Notation.
Okay.
It looks something like this. It looks something like this. Yeah. It's a very easy to understand. So object, something like the component and description. Something like this. So whatever the picture we upload, we get picture uploaded source, picture uploaded source in this format. Exactly. This is the correct format. Are you able to see this one? Yeah. Employee info, employee's name, age. So when some new user joins in, his name, age will be extracted. His name, age will be extracted. His name, age will be extracted. So this is JSON. So the streaming data is taken in JSON format, and then it can be analyzed using the tool called, this is not Apache Kafka, we have Amazon's vendor provided tool Kinesis.
Okay.
And we have data pipeline, where you can build data pipelines for analysis. I think you must have heard this one. It's loading slowly, I guess. Yeah. I think you must have heard the data pipeline. Helps you to move, integrate, and process data across AWS compute and storage resources, as well as your on-premises resources. AWS data pipeline supports integration of data and activities across various multiple AWS regions.
Oh, this is new to me. Yeah.
So this all comes under what we call AWS certified big data.
Okay.
And AWS certified networking is something that is related to the networking part.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so that is brief discussion about AWS certifications. So your best shot would be AWS Certified Architect Solutions Associate. And if you want to take it a level higher, I suggest you take either AWS Certified Solutions Architect or AWS Certified Big Data.
Okay.
Both are very interesting.
Okay.
So what we're going to cover in this entire course? So we're going to cover the very basics of AWS. In 2004, AWS started with this first service called EC2.
Okay.
EC2 means what? Elastic Cloud Compute. I repeat, EC2 means Elastic Cloud Compute. The word elastic means ability to scale your server. Let's say before 2004, what happened was like whenever big firms, let's say whenever the big firms used to have big data centers. So have you ever heard of a data center?
Yeah. Yes, I have. Yeah.
So what they do with the data centers? Data centers provides you what? Provides you the storage capacity, at the same time the server capacity. Where do you host all your applications? All your applications are hosted in a data center, right?
Yep.
There is one physical location where you set up all this, networking stuff and other stuff, and your application sits on the infrastructure, which is the server.
Okay.
So, but what happens with the data center thing is it is difficult to maintain because you need to have a big location, you need to have people employed to that, and let's say you have an application that hosts like what we call 1 million users, and your application become an instant hit. Now it has rise to 2 million users overnight, and that you cannot handle the demand like overnight. You need to buy few more servers and you need to enhance your capacity. This would take some time. You remember the time when people used to download their hall tickets or results when it is put on internet, the server goes crashing.
Yep.
Have you ever experienced that?
Yes, I did.
Server crash.
I did.
Why do server crashes? Because server cannot handle the load.
Okay.
If you notice, when our system gets stuck, what we do? We click on Task Manager, right?
Right. We do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we click on Task Manager and we see how much of our system's memory is occupied. We just click on the performance and we just see the CPU. Right now, my CPU is 29% of my CPU is occupied.
Okay.
If I cannot do anything, 100% of my CPU is occupied because that's where I get stuck. And server crashing is something that goes beyond 100%.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, when Donald Trump won the presidency, the Canadian immigration website got crashed because everyone went into the panic mode that, we need to immigrate into Canada. We can't handle Trump or something like that. So that's the funny thing. So this has really happened. The reason because is the Canadian immigration has some memory allocated to it. They did not expect this kind of huge load that they're going to be hit with. So many times these things happens for many websites. And the other thing, as I told you, you have to 1 million users to 2 million users. You need to increase your capacity, and that takes a lot of overhead costs and other things. So AWS developed a plan that is called virtual server. That means you don't have to have an entire data center to host your server. You can host everything that what you do physically, you can do it virtually as well. So this is what we call virtual server. And because all the server things is taken care of by whom? Is taken care of by AWS. You don't have to do anything. Now you could ask me a question. Let me give you a question. In 2004, I think, Hurricane Katrina, I guess, has ravaged, the eastern and southern parts of United States. This is the damage that it has created. Huge damage to America. And the damage has not just hit normal people, it also hit the business people. How? There is a huge data center that is managed by UBS. Have you ever heard of UBS Bank?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, the $2 billion data center of UBS has washed out because it's a physical location, right?
Right.
And it is hit with a natural disaster. And what happened? People who have the data, who are using their banking application, could not access it for days. Just imagine the day where we still have to go to bank and have to pass through checks and other things, have to withdraw money. It's a huge thing, right? Without having internet access or without having our web access. So that's what happened. It incurred a loss of $2 billion. And so are many other companies. So these physical locations are prone to natural disasters. When natural disasters occurs, that's it. Your data center is gone. So how to protect in such scenarios? AWS, you simply move your stuff to AWS, because if you see on my right screen, there's a thing called Oregon, right? Oregon is a location in US, in the West Coast, near West Coast. So AWS has strategically built several data centers across the world. If you notice, it has data center in Sao Paulo, it has data center in Paris, London, Ireland, Frankfurt, Tokyo, Sydney, Seoul, Mumbai, Northern California, Ohio, Northern Virginia. So it has strategically placed its data centers all across the world. So what happens? Why do we need all these locations? So if you host your server in Oregon location, you can quickly replicate it to, let's say, Mumbai. Now, Just imagine that. This Oregon data center is also a physical data center. Just imagine some Hurricane X has cut off Oregon and all the AWS data centers got washed out.
Okay.
But still, your data is preserved in Mumbai.
So will that be done only in Mumbai, or will the replication be done in all the available other data centers?
You can customize that based on your availability.
But we may not know, at the same time, two different locations may get, a natural disaster, right? There are chances. So it is always advisable then to have it, replicated to everywhere, right? Or
exactly, that's a good question. So AWS, if you notice Oregon, there is a thing called availability zones. Can you repeat that after me? Availability zones. This is very, very important. Availability zones. So what happens is, in Oregon region itself, there are 3 data centers, 3 physical locations within the Oregon state, just like in Tamil Nadu. If I hope you are from Tamil Nadu, right?
Right, I am. Yes.
Yeah. Just imagine that you have within that Tamil Nadu, we have a data center in Chennai, we have data center in Madurai, and we have data center in Coimbatore.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot expect a hurricane that hits all the 3 locations, right?
Yeah. Okay, but still,
that is one possibility.
Okay.
At the same time, say the location that I choose, that you see here, will have within that state, Virginia is a state, Ohio is a state, California is a state. We'll have 3 or more, or 3 or 4 or physical locations within each state. So the possibility of your data center getting washed out is reduced, right?
So that's a calculated risk kind of a thing. Like it is all something that manually, from what we are seeing, from what we are understanding, it has been assumed in that sense. Like that's how it will be. Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay.
As you can, as I said, you can also replicate your data across all these data centers. It will charge more for you. They will charge you more.
Okay.
But if your data is very critical, then obviously you can do it. So you can assure that the data is safe.
Okay.
You cannot expect the world is hit by all this natural disasters, except World War III. So your data is safe in that respect.
Okay.
So that's what AWS came up with in 2004.
Okay.
Launching virtual servers.
Okay.
So
it's virtual for the users, even though it is a physical. Yeah, it will be virtual for the users. So they are paying money and getting the service, right? Okay.
And it has built its huge empire by expanding to several services. But it started with EC2, then S3, EFS, RDS, databases, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache, Redshift, as I told you, VPC, CloudFront, and these are all the services. And in our course, we will be discussing EC2, Lambda, where you automate your code. That means you make your code run automatically based on the events. When some events trigger, your code will respond. It's kind of an automation thing. We'll see it. We will see it how this happens. There is a lab by taking a scenario where users upload their pictures in S3 storage, and the thumbnails of that picture is automatically generated, because the thing is, when you upload your picture, in let's say in Facebook, in website, but you immediately want to see your picture in a mobile phone, so it has to be customized, right? You cannot have the same picture format, resolution that is uploaded to that can be seen in your mobile. That has to be customized along the lines of the mobile compatibility and resolution. So what they do is these Facebook people, they take the thumbnails of your picture and they resize the picture, and they, you'll see a resized picture in your mobile phone.
Okay.
So how does this resizing happen? So we can write the code in such a way that the picture gets resized immediately when you upload a picture. That means when you upload your picture, that picture gets resized immediately. You don't have to, put that picture in through several softwares to resize that. The code does that.
Okay. Okay.
That is one very good example of Lambda. We'll be doing a lab with that. And as I said, this is kind of not a theory class. Every class will be hands-on. Every class will be hands-on. And based on time requirement, you and I will be doing it simultaneously so that we will see the output and result in every class.
Okay.
And we have the Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk is a wonderful service. Ever wonder, have you ever heard of this word continuous integration and continuous deployment? CI/CD. Have you ever heard of this word?
No, I know contingency, but not about continuous thing. Yeah, no.
So what happens is, in this fast-moving world, people, write the code and deploy the code. But if there is any changes in code, what do they do usually? They recheck the code and they make sure the code works, everything okay, and they publish the code. But this is not as easy as I said. It will take a lot of time because developers and testers have to work on that, and they have to make sure the code is working fine, and it takes a lot of time. But a lot of time is not an option in this fast-moving world. You have to reduce the time as much as possible.
Okay.
So Elastic Beanstalk, what it does is you can develop and you can push the code, and the rest of hosting the code on server and everything is taken care of. What you have to do is you have to write the code, and you have to bundle the code, and you have to upload it. That's all you have to do it.
So how about the testing and taking care the impacts of the change?
There is an other tool called what we call CD, continuous deployment tools like Jenkins. So I'm telling that the code itself needs to be pushed. So you just need to upload and deploy. That's it. You have code. You just wrote a piece of code. Let's say Node.js, and you need to see the output. You just upload and deploy it. Now you have to make some changes to the code. You change the initial version. You make some changes. Then you upload and deploy. Then you upload and deploy. That's it. Immediately. You can do it immediately. We have a lab on that.
Okay, so if you are doing, when we make that change, when we are doing something wrong, when making that change, this deployment will automatically, inform us back that there is some problem in the change that we have done, or will it simply allow,
As you can see, the green one, it doesn't show you the green one.
Okay. So all the validation and even the testing kind of stuff's taken care in the behind the screen.
No. That is what developer has to take care of.
Oh, okay.
The developer has to take care of his code problems. What this health suggests is the environment, the infrastructure on which you are hosting your code. Because the mistakes in the code, it cannot rectify. We have to rectify by our own selves. Or there are other tools like, we have other tools. Where is this? Yeah, code commit, code build, code deploy, code start. These are the
Okay.
tools which actually corrects the code, which actually tests the code. So before
Okay.
you push your code to this upload and deploy, you have to make sure that is working fine.
Okay. Okay.
But what I'm talking about is infrastructure on
Okay.
which
Hmm.
your code is hosted.
So there is nothing
And
like development, testing environment, UAT environment, and production environment. Will there be no distinction like that, or you know, how does it look in AWS? Will there be still different environments that we have to move on from one to the other, or
no,
it's
there are actually there is a thing called blue green deployments. Have you ever heard of this word?
no?
This is a very beautiful concept. This is how people test their code. Yeah, if you notice the blue environment and green environment. This is a kind of two environments that you create. One is for production, the other one is for testing.
Okay.
Let me show you what that is. So the green environment is something that you will eventually be deploying it in production. And the blue environment is for testing. So you have these two environments. And
Okay.
of course, these two are still, undeployed into production. So you will make sure that you put the same code, same infrastructure in these two environments. And now
Okay.
you'll make sure you will test it by penetration testing or sending more traffic across these two environments.
Okay.
And you will try to analyze where the thing is going wrong. Then you will correct
Okay.
it. So you will push the green environment. You will keep the blue environment in standby mode and you will push the green environment. If the green environment is facing some problems, we will push the blue environment and we will check with the green environment. If blue environment is facing problems, then we quickly deploy it. The users will
Okay.
not get affected.
Okay.
So I suggest you to go through this. This is a very important concept, a very nice concept as well. It's blue-green deployments.
Okay.
You understand
Okay.
how the developers and how they manage their environments, how they push the code, and what problems do they usually face, and how they overcome those problems.
Okay.
So this is all about the what we call this elastic beanstalk is all about. You just have your piece of code that is written, whatever the format that is. Let's say you just wrote a Node.js code. Now you need to deploy it. So in order to deploy that code, you need to have dependencies. You need to have the environment support, right? Environment support means the server that you're hosting should have the software that supports Node.js, softwares that support Java, softwares that support what we call .NET, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
Yes.
what we call environment or dependencies. That you don't have to worry about it. Beanstalk
Okay.
provides the environment that suits your application.
Okay.
It has tailor-made environments with all versions and with supporting all versions of the language, Node.js or Node.js latest one, or Ruby latest one, or all the infrastructure and environments is supported by Elastic Beanstalk. You just simply have to push your code without worrying about environment and compatibility. Usually in the olden days, what
Okay.
happens is when developers write the code, there are a lot of environment issues that the software sometimes support Node.js 4.3, some support 7.3. Then what you have to do is you have to install lots of softwares and you have to make sure and you have to check the code and make sure that it also fits in other environments as well. that you don't have to worry about here. You just have to concentrate on your code. All the environment stuff and the infrastructure stuff is taken care of by AWS.
Okay.
So that is one example. And where is this? Yeah. And we will be dealing with VPCs. So how a network path is being laid out from front end and back end. How front end and back end are connected in a website networking aspect. We will be covering that. And CloudFront, it's a very interesting concept. So CloudFront actually helps you to dynamically accelerate your content. That means, let me tell you an example here. So you have your servers hosted in, let's say, California. Now I am watching the content that is hosted in a web server that is hosted in California. So the networking time, latency, when I connect to that website, it will take a lot of time because, the network connection, the path has to move from India to USA and USA back to India, right?
Right. Okay.
It will take some time. That is what we call latency. So in order to avoid that, see that network thing has to go from India to USA, from here to here. So it will take a lot of time. So in order to avoid that, we have this thing called CloudFront, wherein the AWS has edge locations, just like the availability zones. It has some edge locations all across the world. Let's say you are hosting your content in, let's say, in Massachusetts. Now, what happens with the CloudFront is they have the edge locations all across the world. They have, let's say, the edge location in Gujarat. So whenever you host a content in Massachusetts, the content is cached inside Gujarat's data center. You know caching data, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it's not like the same amount of data that is again replicated. It's a different thing, like having it in memory, right?
Copy of data.
Copy. So is it like a replication? The full, the full data is copied.
It's kind of a replication. That's correct. Yeah, it is kind of, if you if you are hosting the websites, sorry, if you click on websites, you already have cached data, right?
Yeah.
Now if I type www.facebook.com, it readily takes me to my Facebook because the data is already cached. So it doesn't take much time to load.
Okay.
So what happens is that the data is cached inside this Gujarat data center. So the user who is connecting from Mumbai need not connect to the server that is located in Massachusetts. He can directly connect to the Gujarat center, and you'll get the data access faster.
Okay. So
we'll have a lab. Okay. Exactly. We will have a lab how to push the content through all the edge locations in the world, so that the latency time is reduced.
Okay.
And we have labs on Route 53. Have you ever heard of this website GoDaddy.com?
GoDaddy, no.
GoDaddy.com is a web provider, what we call web service provider, where you can you can domain service provider, where you can select your own domain name and purchase it.
Okay.
Let's say C Ganesh. I want to purchase cganesh.com, cganesh.in. I can simply select and I can simply buy my domain name.
Okay.
So Route 53 helps you to have your own domain name. Let's say if I say registered domains. Where is this? Yeah, I just need to register a domain. Now let's say I put Ganesh.com, $12. Just check whether it's available or not. It's not available. So these are available. Artganesh.com. So I just click on it and I just buy it.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be doing a lab on how to, create a domain name. And most importantly, buying a domain name is not enough. You have to make sure it's working fine. You have to make sure the health check is right. What happens if your domain fails? You should be rerouted to just like, under processing or something, right? Whenever some websites are down for maintenance, it is under construction, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So how those pages are getting navigated? How when you type that, sometimes it shows under processing and sometimes it shows the website. How does this whole thing happens in the background? We'll be discussing that in our Route 53 lab. And in the Cloud Watch, we will be discussing about the log analysis and log metrics. And cloud formation is a very important concept. We will be creating templates to publish websites. Have you ever heard of this thing? Have you ever heard of this thing called infrastructure as a code?
No.
All the infrastructure that is needed, we just write in a simple piece of code. Don't think this course is all about coding. You have to have zero experience in coding. You don't need to have coding experience for this course.
It's all about knowing the tool that Maison is providing and then using it based on the need, right? Based on the requirements. Okay.
Exactly. You just need to know the tools, how we can use those tools. So we have simple notification service, simple queue service, and all that stuff. So in today's class, so how much time is left?
I think, we have to cut short here. I have one more call at 10 o'clock. So, this was very helpful. And, we have gone through what all things that we're going to cover. So, this is very helpful. And
as you can see, every lab, I'm sorry, every class will have a lab.
Okay.
Every class will have hands-on experience, so that you will understand what the whole thing is going on in the back.
Okay. But there must be some.
It's not like I will be some every class he will be doing. No, he will be doing it. Doing by learning by doing.
And there will be some series of items that we have to follow, right? Like only this has to be done first, and then follows the next. There must be some agenda, right? Serious agenda, like, I know you are trying to explain me, so going to different tabs and trying to type and showing it to me to help me understand. But when it comes to the course, I think it must be a list of items in the correct order that needs to be followed, right? It's not like we can work on the other thing without completing the prior things, right? That's how the course will be taken care, right? The agenda of the course.
Exactly. We will go step by step. So when you go to the step 2, that is second class, you will know what we are doing. That we will know the background of that second class in the first class itself.
Okay. All right.
So it's not like unconnected. Every piece is connected here. So this is how we do it. Every lab will have a class and every lab will have a document. So every step will explain you step by step how to do it, what to do it, and why are we doing it. That we will first cover within the class, so that you and I will do it together to understand that. And this is for your reference. If you want to do that, lab over and over and again, because doing once is, you will get to understand that. But doing again and again only, then you'll master it. Every lab will have a document like this.
Okay.
If we talk about DynamoDB, you'll have a lab, the same thing like this.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Okay. So I think we'll be able to, I think we can try to capture them in the next classes. Yeah.
Yeah, if you notice, we'll have labs. This is the explanation. And you'll have the labs like the step 1, step 2.
Okay.
So that you'll clearly understand this is highly interactive sessions that we usually go through.
Yeah,
You
I do
don't feel
understand that.
bored at any.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. So yeah, that's very helpful. And I need to move on to another call now. So sorry to
It's
stop
okay.
you. I think we can
I
continue. I'll talk
just
to
want to
the.
make you understand like what we are.
Okay. So will you be the same person who will be coming to all the classes, or
I will be the only person taking you through this course to its
okay?
entirety. No second
Availability
person or
will
third person.
be that is something flexible, right? Like it's not on only weekdays, or we can work on weekends also. How does it
Yeah, we can work
work
on
for you?
weekends also. There's no
So
such restriction.
okay, all right. Then yeah, looking forward to continue the rest of the steps. Let's talk more in the upcoming calls.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks a lot, yeah, for joining and
Thank you very much,
sharing
Betsy.
the valuable insights. Yeah.
Nice to know you.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Yeah. Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.
Sure. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.